Hey everybody, welcome to AJS News. This is video 2 of 2 for today.
But first, a word from our sponsors, which is Extra Wallet, something we use every day.
2-year warranty on every single one of their products, and those new Cardholder Pros, lifetime warranty, upgraded internals. You got $20?
I do.
The upgraded internals is really important, and the lifetime warranty. I drop mine so much, and it works just fine. But if it ever does break on you, then there you go. Yep. You can get a lifetime warranty on it now. So, guys, really awesome. Check it out. They help fund our show, and you help fund our show by watching. So, Alex, well, first off, big Superman week, obviously. We're going to talk about that in this video, but we've got multiple videos on Superman out. The non-spoiler review, the spoiler discussion, the top 10 reasons why, we gave it what we gave it, which is, apparently needs explanation because I've never seen such controversy and
you hate it.
It's just on the internet, right? It's the internet stuff. It's not when we're at the theaters, everybody's, positive and stuff. And that's great. And then there's the box office returns, which we'll talk a little bit about in this video. Yeah. So, big Superman week. My suit is getting washed, so I can wear it for a bunch more.
Did you get your underwear in?
Yeah, get the underwear. No, it's on its way. The underwear is still on its way because it didn't fit, and the belt was like 3 sizes too big. So, but they didn't know that, Joe, because I'm always sitting from this area. All right, so that's on its way. Go watch our first episode, which covered some of that. And Alex, what the hell else has been going on in gaming news?
Well, you dirty, pervy, horny bastards, I've got good news for you. Marvel Rivals is getting swimsuit skins.
Summertime ready.
All right, let's go. I need a reason to come back and play. Anyway, not really, because they're putting out Phoenix. We're going to try it this week.
Yeah.
So for July, we're getting Captain America, the U.S. colors, banana hammock.
Almost. I mean, you should look. The Punisher is in a Speedo.
With little skulls?
A big skull. It's a big gun. You got to cover it with a big skull. So we got Punisher, Psylocke, which is a fan favorite for
what? I wonder
wholesome reasons. People really
I already got a Psylocke skin. I got to get another Psylocke.
Yeah, Luna Snow, which people also really like. Loki, which was an odd inclusion for me, and then Thor. So, yeah, I imagine more coming.
Invisible Woman.
Oh, you want one of those ones, and then Emma Frost and all swimsuit skins for everybody.
Everyone, why not?
Yeah, but yeah,
who are the champions in season 3? I know. I've got Phoenix,
Jean Grey, and Blade.
I'm gonna assume Blade. Yeah, okay, that's right. Because they had this really cool video that had the Blade. It had a throwback to the Blade club music. Wesley Snipes. I was like, wow, that's a deep cut.
They should put like CGI eyes.
Oh, because he refuses to open his eyes. Yeah.
Oh, I forgot.
That's another deep cut.
Super deep cut.
Open your eyes, goddammit. No. Blade don't open his eyes. It's like, fine. We're going to put some terrible looking eyes.
That's hilarious.
This week we got a Ghost of Yotei gameplay.
Can you find a clip of that?
Oh, yeah.
This because, you don't tell Wesley Snipes what to do. He's like, in this scene, I think it'd be better if I close my eyes. Yes, but this is the scene where you're resuscitated, and we have to show the audience you're alive. No. But, okay. Just whatever.
This is bad. Yeah. The deep dive.
Ghost of Yotei got a big deep dive showing off all the weapons, letting people know that Atsu is not a samurai nor a ninja, but a ruthless mercenary who needs to do all sorts of underhanded stuff to win fights. There's just some dude standing there, like, talking to his buddy.
The javelin throw?
And she throws a spear right into the dude, and it's like, that's how you start a duel.
Holy shit.
Yeah, and so it's like, look, this is going to be, this isn't what you think it was going to be, and it's going to be, you're going to do all sorts of underhanded stuff, and I'm all for it. It's just like, look.
Give me some pocket sand, 10 out of 10.
Yeah. There's also going to be a Watanabe mode, and who Cowboy Bebop director, so you get to listen to sweet lo-fi beats while absolutely fucking murdering people.
You get the flute guy back?
Yeah.
Watanabe lo-fi, but that's not okay. I guess that's just to add to the vibe. Lo-fi adds to the vibe, but the mode is black and white.
No.
The mode is
No, I mean it's just for music mode. So I'm like, this is not something that I'm going to use during while I'm playing my first time. But if I'm doing open world stuff and it's like, hey, murder 500 people, it's like let's put on some cool tunes and murder people.
When I was playing Dune Awakening, when we finally discovered that radio station that plays all the older songs from like all the old Dune games, I thought that was fun to listen to some weird music that not totally appropriate for the game, but still good, fun to listen to.
Yeah, and so there was also a huge variety of blades showed off: katana spears, chain blades, odachi dual swords. There's even a little bit of firearms shown off. So it's like there's going to be all sorts of
a little
cool
bit
stuff
for
in
everyone.
there. Yeah. Also this week, college football is back. Not on PC though. It's only.
I don't want to talk about that. All right, I got stood up in was it homecoming? Mm-hmm. Got stood up in homecoming, one of my high school games.
Did you?
By the way, it's fucking
they added
terrible.
high school to the game.
It is terrible. Bare
it is the
minimum.
laziest implementation of
Make
it.
a tackle.
But
Prevent
somehow
a
Joe
touchdown.
still lost his homecoming date to the star safety, and then Joe flunked out of college.
The good news is, after years of demanding it, I'm glad you guys were able to create your own team and play together, though, right? Right?
Alex, you son of a bitch. No.
Oh, you can't.
For no fucking reason, they did not address that or fix that at all. And I demand an interview. Apparently, there's a few developers that know the Angry Joe show. And I want to get in touch with these guys because this is like repeating the same shit decades ago. When I first started my show, I had to go to a Madden forums and, type on there, hey, we need, 4-player Madden, Michael, cover TPS reports. I used a commercial, put TPS reports on your, whatever. It's Terry Tate office linebacker.
Yeah.
My brain's malfunctioning because it's wild that I have to do this again so that we can get multiplayer football. Because in this day and age, things have gotten so off the rails and bad. It shows where we're at. You can't play on the same team.
People who play sports games don't have friends.
Sadly true.
Yeah. I mean, that's what they got to be thinking. I mean, there's no other explanation. It's like, well,
There's not, because again, we can't do the custom team, and then once we go to Dynasty, use a stock one, we can't change really anything but the names. So we're kind of fucked.
Yeah.
And I want to play with my dude.
What about an
I
Ultimate
don't
Team
want to do
mode?
the review right here for college. We're going to put that in there. So,
Well, that's
wait
just
for
a
our-
small thing of it. There's a long list, but again, they're not really doing anything. Yes, they did really do some more stuff with the presentation, but the core of the gameplay is still broken.
Which means if it's broken in college, football 26.
Oh, I already know it's going to be broken in Madden.
Guess what?
It's going to be broken.
Yeah.
It's going to be broken.
Alex, fuck off. What is the next goddamn story?
Superman did not make as much money. Superman
Alex,
box office.
go to fucking hell.
Well, that's one of
Superman Super Flaps
the.
is what it says.
Yeah, there was. Depending on which article you read.
Soars.
Yeah, it soars, breaks records. Garbage fire, worst thing ever. Superman killed my mom.
Well, that's YouTube grifters that do that one. All the trades and variety and all these other ones are glowing and soaring. And I'm over here like, can we be realistic? So I've got like the only
It's doing
video
good.
that's like, hey, it's breaking its own records and it's doing good here in the U.S. Not great. It's doing good here in the U.S.
It's got one more week.
But unfortunately, internationally, our international bros did not come through for us. And they've come through for us in the past. And shit, there's times where international has made a franchise. You remember like Warcraft did really well.
The Meg.
The Meg.
That was good. Meg 2?
But Warcraft never got a sequel, so I can't really add that to the pile. You got to get a sequel in order for that. But yeah, it was really low. It's something like 42% international, 45% international of the total gross. And, when you have these mega hits that make billions, that number needs to be more like 70%.
Yeah, it needs to be much higher.
And it's only about 42, 45. But at least over here. Alex, you want to go through some of the numbers?
Yeah, it did pretty well. It's the third biggest opening so far this year, which I think
my suit is at the laundromat.
Which is still respectable. It did worse than Suicide Squad and Batman v Superman, but of course Batman v Superman is one of the worst drop-offs of all time.
It's bad.
You put Batman and Superman in the same movie, it's going to have one of the biggest opening weekends ever. But because the movie was so
word of mouth, like
morose,
Yeah.
it was morose. It was dark. It was not
Stupid.
what people thought. The drop off. What was the drop off? It was legendary.
It was like 70% or something absurd. Only
69.
Well, that drop off was Man of Steel. Oh, no.
69.
That was 69. So I wonder what Man of Steel's drop off. Something important sounds like it broke over there.
Yeah,
You're a big,
every time I sit
man.
on a chair, it breaks. Yeah.
Big, heavy man.
Only 6 films have ever opened up to $110 million, but failed to reach $300 million domestically.
Okay, god damn it.
3 of them.
Stop it! Hold on. Let me take this one at a time. So it's good news here. Superman has opened more than 100 million. That's real good. Now, there have been cases, you're saying, that even though it opens really well, that in the end it doesn't make what people are predicting it to make because somehow it falls off.
Yes.
And there's only been 6 films?
Yeah, 3 of them are Twilight, so that's cheating.
Interesting. Twilight.
Big opening weekend, all of the fans, there's a lot of them, but
The girls come in, but then it doesn't really have legs amongst the men and other markets.
the movies
maybe.
were not good. Yeah, I mean, that's not people aren't rewatching those things.
Okay.
So, the other
What
one,
were the other ones?
Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1.
Because I think that's like, well, we'll just wait for the next
Second one. They start to go on for too long. Beetlejuice, which was box office disappointing, and then Man of Steel. Man of Steel did not reach $300 million.
So another Superman film.
Yeah.
And I have been right on the money with my predictions and things if I take this Superman and track it with the old Superman. So that's more bad news. I don't want to hear that. You're implying that while this is a success even in the U.S., it could drop off like Man of Steel and become the 7th film that doesn't reach $300 million. Because I was like,
Possibly, 'cause we got
no
one
way.
more
Man of Steel
week.
made $300 million, and it made domestic. It made $291.
Yeah, because we got
It's
one more
$9
week,
million.
and then we got Fantastic Four,
Yeah.
which is
And it's not fair. It sucks. That's going to cut its legs off, so it's more likely maybe going to be that 7th film. Now, a lot of people, on my videos, like, well, if you, I was like, this is going to fall short of Man of Steel. People were mad that I said that, but other people were like, yeah, Joe, and hell, if you adjust for inflation, Man of Steel did even better. I'm like, yeah, but if you're adjusting for inflation for Man of Steel, then adjust Man of Steel's budget for inflation too, which Man of Steel had a budget of $225 million. So if you adjust for inflation from those dollars to today's dollars, that's $371 million budget. And if you assume that Man of Steel back then had $100 million marketing, that would be $137 million in today's money. So it's like $440 million something cost for the original Man of Steel. So that's why, when you just say the adjustment, it's not always 1-to-1. There's so many other factors in there. And then people are like, whoa, well, Man of Steel did slightly better. I think it's Sunday did a crazy thing because, you open on Friday, and then Saturday goes down a little bit. I think one of the better performances was Deadpool and Wolverine only went -19 from Friday to Saturday. And then you'll go down a little bit more on Sunday. I think Superman did like -25, something like that, or 23. So it's still pretty good. But Man of Steel had no drop-off. And people were like, what the fuck? There was no drop-off from Saturday to Sunday. But people forget that it was Father's Day. So I'm sure a lot of families was like, hey, let's take Dad out. Dad, you're a super dad, and takes Dad out to see Man of Steel.
Then he killed Pa Kent in the dumbest fucking way possible.
Yeah, so it's an insult to the
Stop it,
fathers
Alex.
everywhere.
Stop it.
But so I mean, Man of Steel had that little help of releasing during Father's Day. Now, and so that could be the thing because they're like right around each other.
Location, man.
At least in the U.S. If Superman had released during Father's Day, I think Superman would have done better than Man of Steel, but still been close. The issue is international did not come through. So Man of Steel international number was 56.6% of its totals, and Superman is just getting 42, 45. And there's numerous reasons for why I think Superman is not doing well overseas. As it, number one, it traditionally hasn't done all that well overseas, but recent events really in the current climate and American sentiments right now across the world is not so great. So that contributes. Plus a strong competition from Jurassic Park, which is a worldwide juggernaut. Everybody loves dinosaurs. You don't have to know the American way and truth and justice. You don't have to do none of that. You just know dinosaurs are coming. And a lot of the times jokes and comedy doesn't translate well to other countries, but dinosaurs goddamn translate, and so does F1, so does fucking race cars. Like everybody wants it's doing really well in Europe, the F1 film, while Superman's doing really poorly.
Jurassic Park had a massive drop this week, 57% drop
in the U.S.
Yeah, so I mean it's pretty big, down to $40 million.
Yeah, but it's been out a while. Is this its third week?
Second week.
It's only the second week.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was a massive drop. Well, that drop is only 50 what?
57%.
Superman drops, Man of Steel are like 65%. So it's not as massive as Man of Steel's drops.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
So that's domestic total $232.1 million on Jurassic Park. So even though that movie is not good, I mean, this is one of the lowest rated Jurassic Parks. So people are just kind of tired of that shit. Like OJ mentioned, Lilo and Stitch is almost at $1 billion.
What the fuck?
Yeah, and so if you were thrilled that Snow White and the Seven Thieves / dwarves smashed together with what's her face and the worst acting of all time, yeah. No, not her. Like Gal Gadot.
Oh.
Gal Gadot's horrible acting. We thought that maybe this will kill the whole live action thing. We're not going to do it anymore. No, if you make $1 billion on something that was supposed to go on Disney Plus,
it wasn't true. None of it was true. It was messed up.
Okay, more accolades though. The debut of 122 for James Gunn's Superman is the third best start of 2025, and this is post-COVID. A lot of people try to compare Man of Steel with Superman. And they're like, why is it doing well? Well, the actual answer was like, Joe, why do you always say, oh, it's close to Man of Steel, it's probably going to do that? Movies before COVID, different than movies after COVID. People had to beg for people to go back to the theaters. And yes, every once in a while there's these wild Barbie-heimers and these things. But in general, it's still slightly depressed, and people want to get them to go more. So let's see. Third best start of the extended universe entries. Behind David Ayer's Suicide Squad. That one, the first Suicide Squad, did $133.6 million. But I think that's a combination of, well-known actors, right? You had Will Smith, you had Margot Robbie, you had some of these others.
Adam Beach.
And what?
Adam Beach.
Who's Adam Beach?
Slipknot. Fuck this, I'm
out.
out.
I'm just saying. You mean other Joe? Zack Snyder's Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice did 166 compared to 122 for Superman. But that one had, not only did it have Batman, it also had Wonder Woman. But yeah, all those movies though sunk like a stone and failed to earn double its opening weekend. So. But it's doing, if you compare what Superman's doing to Marvel, DC's actually winning for once. And we're talking about in the U.S. So that's why some people are celebrating, because, if you look at the metrics in that way, then it's working. It's just international.
Yeah, but if we're being fair, Marvel hasn't released an A-Team movie in...
Oh, if you're comparing A-Team movies, yeah, that's
So like Thunderbolts is like F
Deadpool,
team. Like
Deadpool,
no one gives.
Deadpool and Wolverine billion.
Yeah.
Superman couldn't do that. Probably will never do that.
Yeah, and so it's like you release like a new Iron Man, like a rebooted Iron Man movie. I think people would go out and see it because you're comparing like good heroes versus Thunderbolts, which I liked. I still like Thunderbolts, but
yeah. So another thing is, the critics are really high and the audience is really high. You look at the Thunderbolts Rotten Tomatoes; it's almost very similar to Superman. So and Thunderbolts dropped off and really didn't make a whole lot of money. So just because it's got good audience reception, really high audience reception, doesn't mean that a film is going to retain its strength and have legs.
yeah.
And also, in my video, people were saying, well, that's because it's a bad movie. It didn't do well because it's a bad movie. It's like, guys, it had a horrible script. It's like, guys, that in the world of box office predictions and mathematics and all this stuff, a bad movie and a bad script doesn't factor in as much as it should. Just look at Jurassic Park Rebirth.
Yep.
It is doing gangbusters. Not quite as gangbusters as it has in the past, but that is a bad script. That is a bad dialogue and a bad story. And it's making more than Superman. So.
Yeah. 28 years later is still not at the point of profitability, which is interesting.
28 years later.
Yeah, so it's
I don't like the second half, and I don't like the direction it's going.
Well, too fucking bad because the
Yes,
second one is already filmed, and I imagine it's
know.
so much more of the second half. So
Fucking Power Rangers and shit.
yeah, I'm thinking that one is not going to do well.
I
with the
agree.
Sequel. I was, because a lot of times with these things, they want to make a bunch of money in the first one, and you're going to see drop off because people who didn't see the first one. You're going to see drop-off anyway, but people who didn't see the first one aren't going to go watch the second one. So that one's not looking particularly good.
Wow.
And then Pixar, they're
That's a
Elio.
crazy
yeah,
one.
and so that one had a pretty solid budget. I think it's $150 million budget. It's just now approaching $100 million, and that is before you discount the 50-ish% in marketing and
So there are hits, there are success, there's disappointments, there's flops, and then there's bombs.
Yeah, that's a bomb.
That's a bomb.
Yeah, I love animated like Pixar movies, and I have in the past.
I haven't seen it.
That one didn't look particular. Well, I didn't
No.
want to watch it. I mean, I'll
I
watch it.
I saw
want
the
to watch
trailer,
it too,
but-
but
I'm not
I
going to
guess
the theater.
it's just like all of us. That's why it bombed,
Yeah.
because we're like, I want to see it, but I don't want to.
The mega fans say it's great. Average audiences, think it's okay. Maybe you just fire the fucking person who made the advertising because I don't think you did a very good job with the advertising. So.
So if you let's talk about the second week drop. So you got 28 years later, like you're talking about, because it didn't do well. It did 30 million on opening weekend. It dropped 67.5% to 9.7 million. Jurassic Park, I'm curious. Let's see if Superman can beat this drop. So Jurassic World Rebirth, from 92 down to 40 million. That's a 56.5% drop. And Man of Steel's drop was 64.6. So if Superman can be in between Jurassic World and Man of Steel, that would be good. I don't think Superman is going to have a less drop than Jurassic World Rebirth. Right? No. Jurassic World Rebirth, Superman came out in the second week.
Yes.
So Superman, technically, if we hated Superman and we were big Jurassic Park, we would be complaining that Superman came in and hurt that drop off a little bit. So I think Superman's drop off will be somewhat comparable to that in the 50s.
50%
not
drop-off.
60s, 50s. If it's 60s or 70s, we've got a huge problem.
Well, even 50% drop off could be a pretty significant problem if they were looking to go. I mean, you're
most films have about a 50% drop off.
Yeah,
so
but you're trying to
say that's a huge problem.
I think it's a huge problem because you're trying to launch a new cinematic universe, and if your number one fucking guy, your number one guy has a movie that's 2 years late with no approved script. Your number two guy, who is the literal face of your fucking universe, breaks even, makes 20, 30, 50 million dollars profit, and then we immediately go into Clayface and his cousin that like 7 people know about.
Yeah, no,
That's for the DCU. That's bad.
everybody from the outside, these armchair generals, they need to realize that I don't think DC is doing the same thing that Marvel is. DC, it's kind of stupid. Zaslav says we have a 10-year plan. He just came out and championed Superman's success, and even though it's kind of mid to low. But we got a 10-year plan. But James Gunn is like, I am putting scripts first. If it's a good story, it's coming out. Well, that should scare the fuck out of corporations because that's not what leads to money.
Yeah.
And so everybody who's going to be railing on the DCU because it's not making money, that's why I'm like, everybody adjust their budgets now. Supergirl should have a much less budget than Superman because it's not going to make anywhere near what Superman made. And Clayface is not going to make nowhere near what Supergirl makes. And if you count Clayface as a horror film, it would have to be amongst the best horror film releases of all time.
I have such high hopes for Clayface for no reason. Well, the source material I'm told is fucking awesome, and so I hope that movie costs $15 million and makes like 70.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah,
that would definitely be cool.
I think Zaslav's 10-year plan is don't go fucking bankrupt, and I don't think there's any notes, but I would worry.
Depress their sell price or and make the sell price go down, crash the company with the 10-year DCU plan so that
sell to Apple.
But why would you want to press your value down? I don't know.
He'll get paid on the back end in Apple stock if the price goes under a certain amount, allegedly.
Yeah.
All right. Any more Superman stuff?
No, that's all my Superman stuff.
Brazil is in the news. They've taken issue with Nintendo bricking Switch 2s. If you are unaware, there's something in the user agreement when you have a Switch 2 that if you do anything naughty or are suspected of doing anything naughty, Nintendo can just be like,
"I'll brick your fucking console."
Yeah, it's not yours anymore. You loan it to your. Do you have a shitty stepbrother or someone in your family that just sucks? It's like, hey, do you have games on your phone? And then they play on your Switch 2 and they do something fucking dumb. Bricked. Did you buy one used? Because, a lot of us buy used stuff because games are really fucking expensive. Well, the last guy who had your Switch, he was looking at some of those cards that allow you to do that, and now your shit is bricked. And Brazil's got an issue with it. So they're giving, Nintendo has 20 days to respond to Brazilian Watchdog's legal complaint, and we're going to see what ends up happening.
Good.
This is something.
Thank you, Brazil.
Yeah.
That's very nice of you to protect your consumers.
Yeah, Brazil is actually a massive market for gamers. It's one of the large. I mean, it's after like the big Western ones. It's huge, and so this is them taking care of their consumers.
Make fun of me all the time on League of Legends.
Yeah, because it's fucking bullshit. You paid a shit ton of money from that, and I want to do whatever the fuck I want to do with it. It's mine, but I bought it.
Yours.
No, you're borrowing it from Nintendo.
But you also gave me shitty products with your Pro controller.
And the real fun camera where you get 2 seconds per frame.
But I want to do whatever I want.
Yeah,
you can't do it.
We are beyond that. So Nintendo has said this is vital to their survival because they could not possibly survive this massive age of piracy that exists.
I think they'll still do pretty well if they reduce some of their prices on their older games.
Well, they do pretty well by not reducing the prices on their older games.
It's like, that's a good game. I'll check it out when it's on sale. It's never going on sale.
It's never going on sale. Your only option is the Soldier Boy consoles that they sell at the malls, all 7 malls that still exist. And
the Mexican mall.
It has all of the Super Marios. It has all of the Sonics. Duke Nukem's on there. I don't know how. There's all of the forgotten games are on those things, and that's the only way you're getting those games on sale. But
ridiculous.
All right. That's what I got here.
Okay. I was looking up the box office way back in the day. So Superman launches the DCU. Iron Man launches the MCU. How much did that drop off? Way back in the day from week 1 to week 2. Iron Man only dropped off to 48%, so that's really good. But then I look at the numbers and it's an aberration because then the next week it only drops off 37, 35, 33. Those are amazing numbers because they're supposed to drop off into 60s. And then I looked at recent blockbusters and it's 50s, 60s. So
Borderlands.
Well, it's the age of that was also the age of DVDs and Blu-rays and stuff too. So a movie could sort of break even and still make
tons
$1 billion fucking dollars.
This is a fallacy. So not a fallacy. You haven't made the point, but some people are like, well, you don't have the DVD sales anymore. Well, I looked this up because I was like, well, if Superman's gonna kind of go middling to low, how can it make its money? Merchandise and all these other ones, and then streaming. So the VOD market, the streaming, is way bigger than DVDs ever were, and there's actual numbers for that. And I have it saved on my phone somewhere. So like the industry was like, let's say it was like 17 billion or something, but now it's like 47 billion. It's like it's grown. So it dwarfs the DVD. So yeah, you're not going out and buying the $20 DVD, but for every person that went to Blockbuster and decided, no, I'll just go ahead and buy it, you have 7 people doing the $19.99 buy right after it gets out of theaters. So they're still making money that way.
I'd be curious to see what it is per film versus total market, because
it's bigger. It's just bigger. I looked it up. I've got it on my phone somewhere. But anyways, let me do some of these, which is some more gaming. Total Warhammer 3 Tides of Torment DLC officially delayed. What happened here? We asked ourselves if this next DLC met the standards that we've set in recent releases.
Which standards?
And the short answer was no.
They're impossibly low standards because a lot of their DLCs are not fucking worth it.
They had fucked up a lot of their DLCs to the point where they had to come out with a statement saying, hey, we're sorry, let's do this, we're going to do this. And I guess they're still having problems over there. I don't know if it's probably because, at least this is a contributing factor, it's probably a skeleton crew right there, because their main teams are off working on Star Wars Total War, hopefully 40K Total War, a new historical Total War. So this is a stripped down team that probably doesn't have the resources of a main line team. But anyways, they revealed. Let's see. In March, they revealed Tides of Torment, which is going to release a legendary lord called Deshala, and for the Slanesh faction. And then they revealed a new Norscan faction led by a sorcerer named Sail the Faithless. And they had planned to share more news about the 2 factions fairly soon, but the DLC got delayed. And then he apologized for 2025 being a slower year for many of you in our Warhammer communities, though to be honest, I'm not massively surprised that the Tides of Torment has been pushed back. This is the commentator on the article, because like Alex said, it's been kind of a rough patch for them.
Well, if you do have a skeleton crew and you do have minimal people working on it and they're putting out minimal shit, charge minimal shit. Like, you're charging like AAA premium DLC prices for 2 fucking lords. And I really like your game, but fuck off. Like, this isn't, it's one thing when you're buying the little plastic things that are way too fucking expensive anyway.
Way too expensive.
This is another thing entirely when it's like, I'm going to give you 2 lords and I want $20-something. Hey, fuck you.
Yeah. I want 3 lords. I want 4 lords. We gotta get this. But Freeman points out that further updates in this manner are going to arrive over the next few months. July is going to bring siege improvements to the Proving Grounds, which we've needed forever. August will see Creative Assembly add some overdue quality of life improvements to the Tomb Kings and Lizardmen, as well as a refresh for Orc and Goblin character skills. And then September is reserved for minor hotfixes. So that's when CA will return its full attention to Tides of Torment after that September. So yeah, they're on a skeleton crew and they're barely keeping up with just their hot fixes there. So they think that Tides of Torment is going to release somewhere between October and December, and that's kind of disappointing if you're a Total War fan in Warhammer, because this shit is almost over, man, and you're like, please give me more, and in 2025 your stuff is getting delayed. So they say, quote, we won't have any major updates planned for release in September, but we will stay on top of emerging issues as we get to work on the 7.0 update. So if you're a big Total War fan, you just got your fill right there. And then finally, BioShock maestro Kevin Levine says that his new game, Judas, it's so old school because you buy the game, you get the whole thing, there's no online component, it's not a live service, and you get it. There better not be any microtransactions either. So I'm happy for this. It makes me.
Old school.
He actually says Judas is a very old school game. You get the whole thing, no online component, because everything we do is in service of telling the story and transporting the player somewhere. Quote, we are very fortunate. This is no diss on any developers who have done that, because look, games are expensive to make, and we're very fortunate to work at a company where they believe in us enough that they say, okay, you've been working on this thing for a long time. It's going to cost a reasonable amount of money, and we're just not going to push any of that stuff on you. So I'm happy to hear that. That makes me slightly more excited about this game called Judas, which I wasn't all that excited about, but
I like it because they said that the Nemesis system from Shadow and Mordor is like their main point of inspiration for it. So
really,
yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so that's something that's like, hey, I'm glad someone is kind of sort of using
more.
it. Yeah.
Here's another quote. These games are really traditional single-player games, says Levine. Levine, and they don't have that kind of monetization in it. I think the audiences reward those types of games, especially in a AAA space, because they can get so expensive, and people want other methods of monetization. I'm just grateful that we're allowed not to do that, because it frees us to purely design the game for a player's
The game
experience.
is going to be $100, but you get everything.
It's a Take-Two game. It's going to be expensive.
Probably $80 maybe.
It's super
by the time
delayed.
it comes out.
It's crazy fucking late, and it's a Take-Two game. So
It is funny though that we're talking about. I just realized that this is like a selling point for us at this point. That's when you know shit has gotten bad, right? Hey, my game is gonna focus on the game.
But that's just like I was like, how much is it gonna cost?
My game is a single player game.
Higher price.
I'm gonna focus on a single player game.
Yeah. Strauss Zelnick said that the game, well, years ago said March 2025 at the latest. It's like,
For what are you talking about? For this game?
yeah, it was
Judas.
Yeah.
It's been delayed a few times. I don't know.
Yeah, it's been in development hell for quite some time. Apparently, Ken is not a great.
It's
leader
been more
of
than
people.
a decade since BioShock Infinite's 2014 expansion, Burial at Sea.
Yeah.
That's the last time the director Ken Levine, So, yeah. So we'll see. It looks familiar. The game looks similar to his previous stuff, but obviously in a brand new story, brand new world. So I'm starting to get a little interested in what they have to offer.
And Nemesis.
And that Nemesis system.
Friendship.
Okay. Well, guys, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you to our sponsors over there at Extra Wallets. If you want to get a gift right now, summer sale. It's going to get a good discount for you. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you on the next Angry Joe Show. Bye, guys.